Hi, I'm Chris Johnson from airwindows, and I'm bringing you something a little bit new and strange because it's not a plugin, nor is it this microphone. This is an airwindows SM57 mod. You can see that I've carved away the inside of it like this. I use this for guitars and things like that, and like snare mic or whatever. It's very good for those purposes. But you might notice a little bit of a breath noise and pop noise because you can't really do this. You can't leave the microphone membrane exposed and then pop into it and talk into it. Which brings us to the airwindows pop filter. Now you might well ask, what's this airwindows pop filter thing that you're talking about? Well, this might give you a hint. It's a loofah. That's all this is a loofah. Now, that might sound kind of crazy, but check this out. Now do you believe me? Here's your airwindows pop filter in action. Now this is why this works so well. You've got your rigid material, but it is an organic material, so it's grown in a way that's pretty random. It doesn't really, there's no regularity to it. And one thing about recording stuff like voices or whatever, where you're going to have a real spotlight effect on all your highs and everything, is if you have things in the acoustic environment, like right up next to your voice, that's going to have an effect. Now, there are pop filters, like stretched mesh pop filters, where you've got this metal ring, and it's up here around where the microphone is. And there can be problems with those because sound can reflect off of the inside of that ring and cancel as it hits the microphone element. That will not happen with this because it's just a random bunch of rather rigid fibers. That can even with a hard metal mesh, a metal grid that doesn't have the ring, it's just an object. One thing that can happen is your sound can bounce off of the microphone or whatever, bounce back onto this metal mesh, and then that's another cancellation for you. You might not want that. But with this bizarre loofah thing, it works absolutely perfectly. And you can get right up on it, as you can see I'm doing, and work it like a microphone. And it's a very clean, open sound. Now what I'm going to do is take it off for a second. It helps that this is a 57 because it's hard to hurt a 57. And see the inside there? I'm going to unbuild this for a moment, just so you can see how that works. Now you start by carving the inside of this out, say with scissors or whatever. Make it smaller than the microphone so that the microphone can slide in there and actually be snug rather than wobbling around. You don't want it falling off. But then you carve the outside of it so that you have these little notches, and all you got to do is fold them in. The more I handle these, the more they get kind of dented in. You're going to want to be kind of gentle, but you don't have to be all that gentle. And heck, even if you're not gentle, how expensive are these? Not very expensive, I'll tell you that right now. And then once you're finished folding those things in, you go around with the scissors and trim it off until it's kind of smoothed out. And boom, you are good to go. Now, it might seem kind of weird, but it doesn't matter that it seems kind of weird because it works super well. I don't know how many people are going to end up being like, "Why, my $100,000 recording studio and stuff, I just wasn't satisfied with my expensive pop filters and things, and so I thought I would get a..." I don't know if people are necessarily going to go for that, but I'm telling you, you could, because this works. It works really well. And sometimes that's all we care about. You don't necessarily have to care about whether you've got a fancy looking thing or it seems like it cost you a bunch of money if your result is extremely high performance. And this is going to save you a lot of trouble doing things like using plugins or whatever to deal with pops or edit them out. There's nothing so good as just doing it right from the beginning and getting the source sound right. So there you are. Airwindows pop filter, produced with nothing more than a loofah. You might have one of those in your bathroom right now. If not, they're pretty easy to get. Airwindows pop filter available at Bed Bath & Beyond, anywhere you... Oh, not officially. But you know what to do. I hope you enjoy this little tip. And if you want to see how I made the SM57 be the way that I did and why there are things like aluminum tape on it, then go and look it up on my channel. I have a whole video on making the Airwindows modification to the SM57, and it works really great for snares. It works really great for guitars, just bigger while retaining many or all of the things that you actually want. I mean, if you wanted this sort of plasticky tonality out of the SM57, you might be a little out of luck. But it retains the whole micro focus, like this is me straight on, and then once I'm a little bit sideways, it's behaving real differently, and off axis, it's completely different. This modification to the 57 and even the pop filter retains the ability to zoom in and focus that the 57 unusually has. So I hope have fun tearing up loofahs and microphones and things, and I'll talk to you later.